Welcome back, everyone. We are continuing our conversation with Chicago Department of Public Health Commissioner Dr. Allison Arwady this morning. Dr. Arwady, I want to start with vaccine hesitancy. The CDC just released its new guidance last week about mask wearing, and a lot of people are disappointed and felt it was too conservative. So obviously, besides the obvious, which is if you get vaccinated, you are less likely to get COVID. But a lot of people were thinking, oh, fully vaccinated people don't really get to do much more than I can do. So why should I bother? That's what we seem to be hearing. Let's talk about incentives. Is a Vax Pass going to be a part of that to encourage them to get vaccinated?
All right, sure. So first of all, the reason those CDC guidance are where they are is that we still have a lot of COVID around. And although these vaccines are amazingly protective, they're not 100% protective. And so still recommending in indoor settings, knowing that not everybody yet is vaccinated. That's why those recommendations are in place. But I do expect them, like I said, to loosen over time. Chicago is not and has never been planning a vaccine passport. We talked about this Vax Pass concept really more around what we're doing is some incentive activities in neighborhoods to celebrate vaccination. So for example, there's a Protect Chicago concert series that's happening, and it's going to be in a few weeks, but people who get vaccinated will get a pass, be able to attend a concert. We're doing Vax and Relax, where people are able to get a free haircut or get their nails done. We're thinking about really bringing vaccine to settings where people are waiting. And I think it's not so much about hesitancy at this point and more about convenience. I think a lot of people who haven't gotten vaccinated yet, it's not so much that they say, I never want to get vaccinated, it's that it hasn't been first on the list of things to do. So if we think about where people are waiting, DMVs, laundromats, they're at the grocery store, they're waiting to get an appointment somewhere. Those are all good settings for us to potentially bring vaccine and make it easier for people to take that off as a thing to do.
Well, as a matter of fact, that was going to be my next question to you, because I think that's a great point. And I know that you, from the beginning, have been about making sure there was equity. So you've just mentioned a few places that you might be going out to. It seems like we're seeing steering from the large scale sites to try to really get into the communities. Is that the focus right now?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. Certainly what we're seeing now is we have enough vaccine, right, for almost the first time over these last couple of weeks. And that means you can call 312-746-4839. We will help you make an appointment on the spot near your house. But you can also walk into so many centers. And I think the difference is that whereas before we were doing some mass vaccination centers, many thousands of appointments a day, we're now thinking more in terms of hundreds of appointments of a day, per day at some of our larger sites. But then, yes, a lot more of these smaller neighborhood-based sites. And again, working with so many of our medical providers who have been key all along here. We know getting people vaccinated through their doctor's office, for example, is a great place to get vaccinated. You can have that conversation, get your questions answered, and get vaccinated. So we're doing work across all of these realms, really to make sure it's available and accessible for everybody.
Making it easier. Okay, I want to talk to you about hesitancy from parents, because Pfizer is expected to approve the vaccine any day now for ages 12 to 15. And then there was breaking news today that the FDA is considering the vaccine for children as young as 2 by fall. What do you want to say to parents who are saying, I'm not so sure I want to do this for my toddler or my young child?
Sure. So the data for the 12 to 15-year-olds looks really good in the preliminary version that we've seen. The FDA will be considering it, as will the CDC, the ACIP, just like we've done for all prior vaccine authorizations. But it showed no problems with severe side effects, no problems with safety concerns, and really good efficacy, meaning that kids in that 12 to 15, when they checked their blood, actually had a higher level of protection against COVID even than the young adults have had. So I'm really confident about that data for the 12 to 15-year-olds for Pfizer there. I've got no concerns. I've told all my friends, get your kids signed up. Like, as soon as this gets approved, we want to get them vaccinated. I want to see the data, of course, for the 2 to 11-year-olds, and that's part of the story here. The reason they're not talking about till fall was there may need to be different dosing. There may need to be a different response, but the fact that they're feeling confident that that trial will be done by fall and all of the appropriate safety monitoring will be done, I think is good news, because getting kids vaccinated is going to be a big part of us getting past COVID as a society as well.
Okay, I'm squeezing in one more question. They're giving me a wrap, but this is a big one, I think, and that's a lot of women who are of childbearing age or pregnant. They're among those who are the most hesitant, who said, I just don't know yet. So final thoughts on that as well.
Sure. I'd encourage folks to go to cdc.gov and take a look at some of the latest related to pregnancy. There's been some studies now that have not shown links with birth defects, not shown links with poor pregnancy outcomes, but have shown that when pregnant women get vaccinated, they're able to pass some of that immunity on to their babies. So I always encourage people to talk to your OBGYN, talk to your doctor about this, but every bit of the data is really looking good. And I have many friends myself who are pregnant who have gotten vaccinated, and that's what I've encouraged them to do.
Well, Dr. Allison Arwady, good news coming up. We so appreciate you joining us. I'm going to be hitting the boat tours this summer at the concerts. Hopefully I'll see you at one of them because I understand you're a docent, so I want to take advantage of one of your Chicago tours. Thanks again. Always
Absolutely.
a pleasure to talk to you.
Get your vaccine and come on out.
Okay. Have a great summer.
Thank you so
Hope
much.
to talk to you soon.